Howdy doodle strudel everyone. It's been a fucking hot minute since I made a video once again, but I thought I'd make another video on nothing too much in particular because I don't really know what to make a video on. There's nothing going on here. We'll start over here. You can see behind me here the main workhorse has fucked an injector pump, so I've got to sort that out somehow because that's where I get me water, do my work, do my travels, everything with that thing. So yeah, until the Hilux is up and going, which is going to be a hot minute because, you know, as it stands, that thing's about $3,000 to get back on the road. The Hilux is between 5 and 8 with all the shit I got to do to that. So unfortunately that thing's still cheaper to get back on the road and easier, so we'll get that back on the road soon when I can get the money and time and brain knowledge to sort it out. We've got all my water tanks down here. They're mostly hooked together now, so I've got about, once I hook them all together, I'll have about 12,500 litres of storage for general water, plus obviously a black tank here is the drinking water, so 1,000 litres drinking water to a separate line. Then you've got your main, just everything, water, showers, laundry, anything. Actually, fuck it, we'll walk down here. And then I'll walk back up because there's just a fucking lot to show. Like I said, I haven't made any videos, but I've been busy. So we'll turn this around. Here's my tank setup. Obviously it used to just be this one, which was just my everything tank. Obviously not drinking, but you know, like everything else. We've got that, plus a whole bunch of other ones that I snagged. I get these all for free from a mate. They're various relatively safe, so obviously not dangerous substances are being in these tanks, but they get a flush out anyway, but just to be on the safe side that I don't get drunk out of. Like I said, nothing bad, but just still be safe. So that's all the white ones. This is general water and they work quite well. It's a free multi fucking level water storage. So you see I've got them connected up to this one, so I've just got, even this one's not done properly, that was just what I was draining, so we'll come and walk through the middle here. Eventually I will have a fence all around this. This is the grey water tank, so at the moment it's mostly just shower water that gets pumped over into this, but eventually, well, I tried to set it up quite recently, we'll just fucking go off path a bit more, and off fucking topic. I've been toying around trying to set up a sump system. So basically for the bath and shower drains into this, as well as the laundry tub, laundry tub and washing machines. And where is it? I was rigging up this little doobie wacky here, a little float system. So basically when a float goes to top, it turns the pump on, which is just a dirty water sump pump. First thing that went wrong is I kept fucking blowing these switches because I'm guessing they weren't enough, they can't carry enough watts to be able to reliably carry the electricity for this pump. So I went through about 3 of these switches that just fucking shorted it out, and I was like, sweet. So then I ended up, where is it? If I can find it, here it is. This was the original switch from the pump. As you can see, it used to live inside this little float here, which didn't work for my purposes, but basically that just sat in there, and I had a ball, so when that float goes up, ball hits the little button that's on here, and that joins the cables, which turns the pump on. So I thought, well, if this switch works with this pump beforehand, I thought, well, I'll wire it up. And I basically had it attached to the top of this, so instead of this having a magnetic switch in there which turned on, I just had it so it hits that button, which is fine. Except for some odd reason, now this pump keeps blowing fuses in my inverters, so something's shorting out in that pump, which is brand new, and I know I've cut the float off of it, but it still shouldn't be fucking shorting out, so I've got to sort that issue out. But it was working when the pump was working before the float switches fucked out. it was perfect. It would literally just like the water would fill up, go and the pump was powerful enough that it could keep up with the flow of the bath water, shower water, anything that went into it. It was powerful enough pump. The float was working and the system was working perfectly. It would just go rise, drop, and every time the water came up, it'd click the pump on, pump it down, turn it off, it'd rise up, pump up, and it worked perfectly. That's the idea I want. All the wastewater goes in there, pumps it into the grey water tank here, which then has its own like regular pressure pump that runs to a tap, which will eventually I'll have a grey water taps running around the place set up properly, but for now you just plug directly into the pump just to get some grey water for the gardens mostly, because we got a fair few plants here, which we do actually. There's more and more plants being planted, so they need water, and it's a bit much to waste all the good water, so we use grey water, which works fine. But yeah, anyway, that system is worked out, but I'm still working the kinks out in it. So we'll walk back up here, and you can see here. Oh shit! So that's the other caravan I put in. I've started building the deck that goes between the two caravans. So that's my old caravan here that I stay in, and then you can see I start building this deck here because I got some free timber off a mate down the road, and I've run out of timber, so I've got half the deck built, but we've got to buy some timber to get the rest of it built. So we've got to here. Oh shit! Which is not bad for free. So I've just put the old Besser block, foundations down, done properly. Obviously they're on a mortared bed, nice and level and mortared together, so done all properly like. So they're a decent little foundation for a deck. But yeah, that's what I've done so far there. But this deck, obviously those staircases will be fucked off. The deck will come basically to the edge. Well, the edge of this deck here, which is, as you can see, even this got a bit more. I've got a fucking handrail started. We've got blooming a bench built here. I've got to put shelves, covered doors, seal the top properly. We've got the sink in here that works with hot water to it. This kitchen bit doohickey here with an actual fridge now. I run an actual fridge here. The system is powerful enough to get that all going. Obviously it's not done here. I'm still fucking building it out with bits and shit that I've got, but it's coming together. So eventually there'll be this deck here between the two caravans. There'll be a staircase here going up to said deck because it'll be all closed off here. There'll be a ramp going up here with another doorway, so you walk up into this deck, come to basically the kitchen area, which then goes to the entrance into my caravan here, which is pretty much my bedroom. And then we've got the deck here, which is going to have obviously the deck handrail about high, so that'll be all closed in as a splashback. And then there's going to be a breakfast bar across here, so the kids can sit on it from their caravan on this deck here. Stools up to it. Got your plate. You can hand your plates up to it here, or you can hand the plates down and wash them up. It just worked quite nicely there. You can look out to the nice view, and that doesn't fuck up anything on here. So I've got to get that doorway fixed into the little greenhouse here, courtyard here, I wouldn't call it. But anyway, so that's that shit sorted. Power shit hasn't changed much. It's just a fucking hot mess in there. Got this big monstrosity, it's not a monstrosity, this big old thing here for extra rooms. Got this cool ass little play area built down here, so we got, like I said, this video is on nothing particularized too. Oh, we've got chicks as well, as always. There's always little chicks and chickens floating around, regardless of, oh shit, let the dogs out. I actually just got home from, we'll turn this camera around. Just got back home from sorting some shit out, so I better let the dogs out there. Well, technically it's not a dog yard, it's actually a chicken coop, but the chicken's free range during the day, so if I need to go out, as it stands at the moment, it's still open, they go in a chicken coop to stay nice and safe and secure, because it's a good chicken coop, so it keeps dogs in too. But I still use it for them when the chickens aren't in there. Okay, so, well, I'm going to say not much has changed in the power sheds, to say, but I am actually building a new addition to it. we'll see if it gets built. We're working on a new addition to it. So basically I'm using, that's the inverter off the lawnmower that I'm converting over. So I am still working on that, have still got all the bits to finish it. I just haven't finished yet because I sort of bounce around too much. But that's the inverter, so I can't read it at the moment because this inverter, like I said, that pump blew all the fuses, so I got to rip down and grab some more fuses for it, change that out in that inverter, get it back up and running so I can put this one back on the lawnmower and do that. But what I'm going to be working on soon, which I'll show you in a minute, is the DC generator, which is going to go underneath the bench here. You can get a good camera view of it, because this power bank does really well and the solar's doing really well, but with the amount being used, we're still running into issues where you can't always get fully through the night. If it was just me, like, doing fuck all, it'd be a fuckload of power, but there's more power needs at the moment, so obviously you always got to build it up. But it's doing pretty good. Now we're heading into summer. Honestly, we haven't really had any issues, but during winter time with a low daylight and shit, you get a rainy day, yeah, it is a bit iffy here and there. That's this living off grid, you're always going to have your iffy days and your good days. But I need just to build a generator to ride out those iffy days, because need to run chicken incubators, because, well, breed chickens out here, so as well as one of the other things. So in order to do that efficiently, you need to run incubators, which is not hard to run them. They don't need much, but it's just more keeping power reliable so it doesn't cut out, because you can't have power cutting out with that kind of shit. So yeah, so I got to get power more efficient. That's why I'm building a generator for these guys. As you can see, there might be the door. Those ones aren't free rangers today. We've got to alternate the different coops for free ranging. And also those guys there have a tendency to be arseholes and tear the garden up, which we're trying to establish at the moment, as you can see. So not much, just I built this, well, the kids helped me do this. I did the ties and they helped me fill them all in. So this is going to be just a nice big cool, like, I don't know what you call it, teetering tire pond of plants. I've got a bunch of strawberries and shit plants in there. It will be the fish pond, which will run about 2 or 3 chop and flipped aquaponics systems along here. But until that happens, it's just dirt gardens around and they'll stay there, so it'll look really cool. So that's happening at some point. There's plants around the place. Like, got a few garden beds over there. Like, there's like I said, I'm not going to tell you too much, because it's just, you'll see it happen. Shit's always happening. And this is a friend's generator I'm using at the moment as backup, because my other one that I had, this one I bought brand new, it's done alright for a few years, but it's just got, the engine seems to have gone, and I don't know, I think I've done something funny to it. I've got to look at it, but it looks like I've bent a rod or some stupid shit like that, but that one's out of action at the moment. Like I said, lawnmower here is still happening. I've just done the good old kite trick of getting so far and then running out of puff and having to move on to something else for a bit, but it's happening still. All the parts are here. I've just got to, as you can see, I've started to do wiring on it, so got to get that just wired up essentially, have the inverter put back on it obviously, and yeah, battery's all built. I'll show you that actually. Just to prove to you, not that I need to prove anything, but you know, it's happening at some point when I can afford it to have the time. Usual story. It is being worked on always, as is fucking everything. Okay, what have I shown you? So I'm going towards the battery, I know, but I'm just trying to think of anything else. There's lots of things, but I think that's a big enough gist for now. So up here, this is the battery for the lawnmower, so that's the BMS unit. Obviously you can tell I haven't like put it together nicely. It works, it's a functional battery, it charges, it does all it needs to do. I've just got to tidy up all this garbage, basically these wires, and mount that properly and just make it look all professional. Not professional as I can make it, but it works. That's a 24 volt lithium battery pack there, all wired together BMS unit, so sweetie bon weedy, I'm happy with that so far. And we'll take you down to this generator. Looks like a bit of a hot mess around here, but believe it or not, it's getting better, and there's a lot happening, so I don't really care. Of course, it's going to look a hot mess occasionally. What do we got here? Let's go down here. Hello, turtle. He's a little crossbeak chicken who's actually a rooster apparently now. Okay, I'll start the generator. So yeah, well, was that? This is the generator I'm making now. So part of the reason why I bought that lawnmower wasn't just to make an electric lawnmower, it was also because it was a cheaper way to get a nice working stationary motor as well. So this motor works, it's electric start, powerful enough to do what I need to do. So it's what I'm using. It came off the lawnmower I converted, so there you go. Even the petrol motor wasn't wasted. But so as it been, this frame I didn't build right away. This is one I just had sitting around. It actually used to be, it was the original battery box in my ute actually that didn't fit, so it's just been sitting around all these years. So I thought I'd reutilize it as a generator frame. So I welded these two plates on here. Motor mounts to that. Obviously you can see the shaft sits down here, so then I don't know, we'll fucking figure out some way to mount. I've got a 24 volt alternator from a truck, and I've also got the regular 12 volt alternator, so this will be able to put out 100 amps of 24 volt power or 12 volt power, you take your pick. They'll just get mounted somewhere here and here. I've got, where is it? There it is. Also welded that together, so that's the coupling for the motor, so that slots onto the shaft, gets fixed on there. It's got the two pulley points, so obviously one pulley will run a belt for the 24 volt, one pulley will run a belt for the 12 volt alternator, and then once that's all put together, that'll be jammed in under the table in the generator shed with a couple of exhaust fans and rigged to a generator controller for the batteries, and fingers crossed it'll just be a generator that'll kick in automatically when the batteries get low and turn itself off when they're high enough, and yeah, just do its own thing. Worst case scenario, I'll have to turn it on manually if I can't figure out the automatic start shit, but I'm sure it shouldn't be too hard. We'll work it out. So yeah, doing that, that's the main one at the moment, because I need to get that finished so we've got proper power. I don't know what else to show you. It's all happening here. Yeah, there's a lot I need to do, but I'll try and make an interesting video time soon of me actually working on something, I guess. Like, I don't know which one it'll be. Probably the generator, I guess, if I can be bothered to actually film that. I'm kind of working it out as I go along, so don't particularly know what I'm doing, but hey, do I ever? So yeah, that's what's going on, guys. There is a lot more happening. I've probably forgotten to say it now, but I thought I'd just give you a little update of what's going on, or all the shit that's not all the shit, a lot of the shit that's going on. I'm alive, family's alive, everything's good, and for the most part, you know, life happens, but you know, chugging along, dealing with all the issues that come my way as best I can. Yeah, hope you're doing well. The catch is in another one. Got guinea pigs there too. They just had babies recently, but there's always life happening. There's always life happening around here, so yeah, she's all good. Catches later. I'm rambling off now, so I'll stop and catch is in another one when I can film it properly. Bye.